You want to know a secret? Something your company is probably not telling you? I'd be willing to bet that somewhere in some corporate headquarters, in some war room, if you will, there is a significant group of company leaders and some HR people. And what they're doing is plotting, and they could be plotting against you to replace your job with AI. It won't come tomorrow. It may not come via a pink slip, but I promise you that some of your jobs may be impacted by AI. So I saw an article, and it's from back in June. It was in Fortune magazine, and it was about Amazon and their AWS, Amazon Web Services division. And they were announcing that generative AI was going to be the cause of approximately 1,000 people losing their jobs. That was just one example of many more I think will be coming. And it could come for jobs like, in tech, programmers, coders. It could come for people like that have a paralegal job, even could come for retail, content writers, copywriters, or editors, graphic artists, right? How many of us have gone on ChatGPT, myself included, put in a prompt and got a picture? So suddenly you don't need those graphic artists anymore, especially as that gets more advanced and more detailed as the minutes go by. Let's talk about some of the signs so that you can protect yourself before it's too late, before you suddenly find yourself without a role. All right, so sign number one. Suddenly, you're hearing some buzzwords, right? And I know we all hate these words, these corporate jargon that we hear people overuse, but if they start using some of these like efficiency, productivity, optimization, especially that last one, optimization, if they start using that and the other people, the other leaders start parroting that type of stuff, that could be a warning sign that, hey, they are looking for ways to justify AI adoption. It's funny. I see both sides of this coin, right? As a business owner, I want to cut costs. I want to streamline the business, make it efficient, right? More efficiency is going to create more profitability, which also speaks to my shareholders. All that type of stuff goes in there. But if you're the employee getting optimized out of the organization, that's not a good chair to be sitting in. What are you going to do about it, right? And now is the time to start thinking about it before suddenly your job evaporates and you're left, like everybody else with that LinkedIn badge open to work, right? Because your job was eliminated. So if your job is full of things like running reports, creating PowerPoint decks, scheduling, all those types of some people would say grunt work, busy work, I don't know what it is. But my point here is if that could easily be taken over by AI. And again, if a business is looking to streamline or optimize things, these are the first jobs that are going to be optimized out the door. You could hear things like, hey, we're not replacing you, we're freeing you up for higher level work. Now, that could be true. They could actually be taking stuff off your plate that AI can do, but if that's the core responsibility of what you're doing, that whole job may evaporate. Now, other people may actually welcome this, right? They are getting that busy work taken off their desk so that they can focus on that higher level work, on the stuff that does require a fair amount of human interaction, of human critical thinking. So take a look at the job you're in and think about, hey, could a robot do this better than me? And that leads me to another one, is when leadership suddenly introduces new tools, right? A chatbot here, an automation plugin there. And at first you're told, don't worry about it, it'll be fine. This is just helping you. But then over time, if you're paying attention, you're seeing that automation or that chatbot is actually doing 80% of your job. And you might react to it like, hey, this is amazing. Right now I get paid to do less. I don't think that's going to last very long. Here's one from my background, right? In human resources, right? Now they're using AI to screen resumes, which is another problem for you as a job seeker, but that's a whole nother video, which I will link here. Recruiters are suddenly now in the business of managing these vendor relationships with these companies that actually have an AI component to their applicant tracking system, right? So suddenly they're taken away from the actual recruiting and put more in front of a vendor management relationship. And suddenly, if you're reading the tea leaves in this equation, maybe I don't need the recruiter anymore, or maybe I don't need as many recruiters anymore. And I know my friends in the recruiting profession, I've seen a lot of companies take this approach. They're suddenly not hiring anymore. They've streamlined, they've optimized their recruitment process with artificial intelligence. And suddenly, you know what? We could get by. We maybe have 10 recruiters on the team. We could get by with 3, right? That's how that equation goes. And it doesn't happen overnight either. It kind of just sneaks up on you. AI could show up and actually take the core work away from you, leaving you with kind of the scraps, right? It could be admin work. It could be leftover stuff. And all of a sudden, if people are looking at what you're contributing as an employee, if it's not value added, why are you in that job? Why do I need to pay you as a manager to do admin level work? That's a fair question from a business standpoint. But if you're the employee sitting in that box, that's not a good space to be. And you could be what's called in the layoff world as next. In this type of scenario too, if they don't want to conduct layoffs and pay for all of the severance and all of that stuff, they just may quietly nudge you out of the business. And I did a video on quiet firing before, and I will link it here. Take a look at it, because there's some warning signs in there that you might be able to look for. And if you see those in your work environment, it could be a problem and you should take action now. And this is kind of more for the corporate-y jobs, right? You're in the Golden Palace at headquarters. So these types of activities, and what I'm talking about is people planning activities where leaders and HR people are in a room for sometimes days on end for a very long conversation about the talent, and they do a deep dive on the talent. So in these meetings, they're typically, the ones I've been in, are talking about, what's the performance of our team and how do we get them to the next level. If suddenly they're talking more about, hey, how is AI replacing some of these jobs? How are we now going to reduce headcount as a result? That's a different equation. And they're not going to come out of there and announce it to you either, right? So I would have a meeting with my boss after I knew that took place, and I'd sit down and say, hey, what are they saying about me, right? So if you suddenly have that conversation, and I recommend you do, but if the feedback coming is less about your development, and if they're taking some development activities away from you that would enable you to get to the next level, that could be a red flag that say, hey, you know what? AI is coming for my job, right? And you're suddenly over here too, in parallel, you're seeing some of your job going to robots and artificial intelligence and that type of stuff. That could be a huge red flag. And you really need to read the tea leaves, read the room, and understand what's going on, so then you can take steps to protect yourself. So what do you do? So I would say, don't just learn AI, learn how it applies to your function. So what do I mean by that? So if you're in, let's say, HR, my old profession, you should master prompt engineering and human interviewing skills, right? So think about it. I'd be hard pressed to say or believe that AI could take the place of a human interview, right? If you're looking for top tier talent, if you're looking for, people that you want to attract to the organization, I don't believe a human can be replaced with artificial intelligence. Please, recruiters, hiring managers out there, please check me. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments, and I'm willing to be challenged. My mind is open to a different point of view. If you're in a recruitment capacity and you don't want to be managed out by AI or lose your job to AI, you've got to really be that excellent at your job and really lean into the human aspects of your job. So in this case, it could be interviewing skills. So if you are in marketing, use AI to draft copy, but double down on that creative storytelling. Really, that's the human input there that I don't believe AI could do. Now, somebody's going to, again, argue me with the comments. I welcome that. Please let me know. But those are the things, in my humble opinion, are examples that you should lean into, is what is the human-only stuff in your equation, in your job responsibilities, that you should really lean into and become even more of an expert in. So if you think about critical thinking, complex problem solving, emotional intelligence, leadership, creativity, what do I do that a bot cannot do? Where do I lean in? Where do I upskill myself so that I can maintain my role and really differentiate between what an AI can do and what I can actually contribute? Make sure your resume is brushed up, right? You've heard me talk a lot about, and I still believe this, that data, results, those types of things will jump off a resume for you. But I'm going to take that to another level, right? I'm thinking about, hey, what portfolio do I have that I can actually show in an interview, bring them and say, hey, I worked on this deck. Let me walk you through, make sure it's not proprietary information. Hey, let me walk you through my thought process here and how I led to it, why it mattered, and what results we actually got on whatever project is at hand. That's a compelling story to walk a hiring team through, right? And it really makes you show up really, really well. I would title this section, Network While You Still Have a Badge. And I would say, do it twofold, right? Conduct an internal networking, right? So you can maybe get to know different leaders, which is always a good basic practice to network in an organization, because you never know where your next job could come from. You never know. There may be a leader out there or a function in your company that is the perfect role for you, but you don't even know it exists. So get out of your cube. And I'm going to talk about return to office in another video coming up soon, so check that out. But when you're in the office, connect with those leaders so that you are casting a wide net internally. That's where job opportunities, those doors open up, is connecting with those leaders. Then externally, of course, my point here is think outside the box. If you see your role shrinking, before it shrinks out of existence, you need to do something, and maybe cultivating some side hustles or a different way to excel or succeed in your profession is the way to go. So if you're seeing some of these signs, now's the time to act, right? Now's the time to do all the things we've been talking about. Upskill, package yourself differently, do some networking internally and externally to make sure you're not a victim, or you're not on LinkedIn next year at this time with the green circle around your badge looking for another job that you're open to work. There's so many of those out there. So what has happened to you? Has AI come for your job? Let me know in the comments. Tell me your stories. I'd love to hear what's going on out there rather than just some of the research I've done. Your stories are super impactful, and I do respond to 99% of the comments on my videos. So please let me know in the comments what's going on out there. And if you do feel like AI is coming for your job, please take a weekend, do an assessment of what stuff is going off your plate to AI, and then figure out, hey, is my job shrinking out of existence, and what can I do about it now? So I appreciate you watching this video. And if you like content like this, I would be absolutely honored if you would like this video and subscribe to my channel. If you are currently in a job search, whether you're employed or unemployed, I wish you success. I hope that is a short process for you and you get the job you're looking for. If you're currently at an employer that you love in a role you really like, that's part of your career equation, I wish you continued success. And until next time, my name's Rob, and take care.
Now what? Now what? Plot twist moments, connect the dots. Trains don't wait, so take your shot. Will that happen? Now what? Now what?
This video was recorded and produced by Just Talk Studios, the premier video podcasting studio in Bellevue, Washington. Visit justtalkstudios.com to learn more and book your session today.